let's talk about posture and dynamics. So how do we actually keep front headlock control, and how movement would play out, and how do you really combine all the different hand positions so that you can keep chest to back. First of all, how do we keep this? Now, as a general rule, this can become fairly complicated very quickly, but let's try to keep it simple. Let's start with the basic front headlock. You want to have your shoulder on the back of your partner's neck, always keeping this down pressure. Your chin strap, which is your hand on the chin, you want the chin strap to be short. You want a short elbow. The biggest mistake that everyone makes is that they go deep on the far side of the jaw, as it were. Now you see how my elbow and my hip are separated. There's a lot of distance between hip and elbow. This is the distance that my partner will exploit. Either we start circling or start peeking out, as it were. Exactly. This is a very common mistake, and it's very hard to fix, especially beginners, because they have the sense that you want to bite deep on the far jaw. This is not the case. You want to bite the chin and have a short elbow. Your elbow should go as tight as possible, as close as possible into your hip. When he goes to exploit that space for a peek out, for example, there's nothing there. When he goes to circle, it's just much harder. It's not impossible, but it's much harder. So short elbow, chin strap. Your shoulder behind, like right in the middle of your partner's scapula. And the hand, let's assume we're working with unlocked hands. Your hand goes on the inside of your partner armpit, pulling, opening up the elbow. Okay. As a general rule, we stretch the leg that corresponds to the overhook. Sorry, the underhook. Okay. This leg is the one that stays on the floor, is the one that corresponds to the chin strap. As a general rule, there are situations in which I'd switch, but in which I would either sprawl or come here, but let's not go too deep into this. This would be your general posture. Now, the biggest mistake that everyone makes in the beginning is that they try to drive into your partner, because they think that to keep my partners down, I need to drive into him with my legs, because that's where the pressure goes. When I do that, I help my partner stand back up. If I start driving into my partner, that's where when I help him stand up, I help him bringing his hands towards his knees and feet. So I go 3, 2, 1, I start driving, and he comes up. Big mistake. What I want at all time is to have my partner's hands weighted. I want to bring weight onto my partner's hands. In order to do that, I need to be constantly pulling my partner's chin and opening my partner's shoulder. This is the dynamic. What you want to hear, as it were, from top is this. This constant forward off balance. This is what's going to keep your partner grounded. When he tries to stand up, you want to pull the chin back to mat return him. So it's very important. Lots of people get it wrong in the beginning. They drive, your partner stands back up, circle, and everything is gone. So this is a very basic front headlock. As a general rule, as I said, the front headlock is the most versatile position, the one that you can almost always get. You always have a good option. You can either go behind or punch strangles in. When it comes to double under, we already talked about briefly. As a general rule, on a partner that circles, there's nothing, or tries to peek out, there's nothing better than double pit, because that will allow the greatest degree of control double pit here. Again, short elbows. When he goes to circle, it doesn't matter where he goes. Switch direction. You can always follow your partner. When he goes to peek out, there's just simply nothing there because he cannot exploit the distance between my elbow and my hip. As we said, the problem with this is when he starts building height and drive backward. This is when we can start losing the position. That's when we switch to a chest lock. Now he drives into us, we open. He starts circling, we lock a double triceps or a double pit. So again, this is how you play both combinations. Against a very explosive opponent, lots of sweat, try to work with double pit unless you're in desperate need of a submission. And as I said already, against an opponent that is fairly passive, is just concerned about not getting finished, is not particularly worried about getting out, by all means work with double over. You can start punching guillotine side to side, or of course you can also work with a front headlock and start threatening go behind to generate some movement and some reaction. But as a general rule, against someone still, you can start attacking double over the same way that against someone that bridges into you here, he's not particularly concerned about getting out. You can work with double over so you can start punching strangles in both directions. So the analogy, it's the same one from the back.